All right, hello everyone. It's time to get deep. Today we want to talk a little bit about the phrasing that we use all the time, which is the universe doesn't make mistakes. Nature doesn't make mistakes. So this is what we're going to go deep in today.
Yeah, this is definitely something you've heard us say probably all the time.
Yeah, and it can get a little confusing.
Right, yeah, obviously things go wrong in the world, so what are we talking about when we say that nature doesn't make mistakes? And I think the best way to look at it is kind of looking at the world, looking at the universe as a system.
As a whole.
And yeah, everything is interrelated and interconnected, and we are a part of that.
Yes.
We're not separate from nature. And it's really important, I think, that in our society, in our culture, we tend to think of it as like, we're the humans, we live in cities, and then out there is nature and animals.
Yeah.
And it's
not. It's
so far from the truth.
We're the same as everything else, just expressing in a really different way. We're expressing in our human suit bodies, but we are not separate from the source of all things. Like everything is encompassing this entire planet, this entire ecosystem, this entire continents, the globe, everything. We're a part of it. And where we've drifted off for the past thousands and thousands of years is humans have just kind of effed it up.
Yeah, kind of slowly separated ourselves from the equation. But unfortunately, we can't survive outside of the system. And when we pull ourselves out of the system struggles without us. But probably it's more on the lines of we struggle without the system. But when we're just constantly taking from the earth and not giving back, we are destroying the earth. So if you look at everything is fractals. Everything is sort of there's a bigger version and then a smaller version. So when you look at a single human, it is a part of the system of humans and then the system of all the other beings on this planet. Yep. But then when you look the other way, you take the microscope and you look at a human, you're looking at all these different cells that are each in and of themselves another universe or tiny a fractal, tiny little fractal of the universe. So when you can think of yourself as you're the one sort of in charge of these cells, of all these universes, and you can live in a way that helps to create life and to make life more sustainable for those cells, your body is going to thrive. And then when your body thrives, that is one small segment of the bigger picture that we can see of the universe.
And that's us living in harmony with nature and the universe and being one with it. Like Dan said, when we separate it, that's when we begin to deteriorate, be detrimental to ourselves and the planet.
That's dis-ease. So when we are all working together in a symbiotic nature, it is ease. It is equilibrium. The whole structure kind of finds its way and flows and works together. When you resist that, when you fight against that, you create dis-ease. And that's sort of the issue. That's where we find ourselves. Yeah. And it's literally happening at every level. Humans are sick. Especially you look at the West, we're here in America and people are sicker than they've ever been. People are more obese than they've ever been. People are diseased. The healthcare system or the sick care system isn't doing its part.
Right.
And it's so disgusting. But then when you turn around and also look at the food we're eating, we're getting away from natural foods in their natural whole source, I don't know what you call it, form. But we're also, by doing this monocropping with herbicides and fungicides and pesticides, we are destroying the planet, we're destroying the soil. And you have to remember, soil isn't just dirt. Soil is a living organism, and it's this symbiotic relationship of all these organisms living in a system together that creates the nutrients that go into the food that we eat, or our food eats. So healthy grass coming from healthy soil is going to create healthy cows, and then when people eat the milk and meat from that cow, you get healthy, nutrient-dense food that is of this system of life, so it is sustaining life. When you look at it the other way and you're growing soy and wheat as the only crop on a barren landscape of dried out dirt, not soil, dirt.
Yeah, which is heavily sprayed with chemicals.
Yes, it's soaked in poison, and the poison is destroying the soil. So the soil itself becomes, like I said, becomes dirt. It's not conducive of life. Then the plants that grow from that are not conducive of life. They're sick. They're significantly less nutrient dense than they were even a few generations ago.
Yeah, they lose all of the health benefits because they've been riddled with chemicals.
And then we're eating food that's riddled with chemicals and devoid of nutrients, and then that's creating people that are diseased and riddled with poison and devoid of nutrients
and disease.
And then we can't contribute to the cycle. It's a cycle. It's the circle of life. You've seen The Lion King. Everybody knows how it's supposed to work. But when we separate ourselves from that, we get disease. We get, the sick state.
We get the separation. We get disharmony. So that's really like what we talk a lot about. Everything is everything. Nature doesn't make mistakes. The universe doesn't make mistakes. We can't overemphasize that enough. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of an insight as to what we mean, because we're not going to stop using this terminology. If anything, we need to project it more so that everyone can understand a little bit about how the universe really works.